Hi guys, today I'm gonna have fun with a custom request. A friend of mine asked me if I could make her something that was sea themed, and I gave her some options and she went with a tray. So that's what I'm making today. And if anybody out there ever wants to contact me for either making something custom for them or just ask me questions, then you can contact me here. Okay, without further ado, let's get on with it. As you know, this is going to be an ocean theme, and I decided that I would like the sides to be clear so that you could actually see the design rather than solid, so that's what I went with. Has a nice effect because this blue matches the blue that I finally use in the main part of the design, so that worked out really well. I made up my resin, divided it into 3 cups. The first 2 cups I've got an equal amount in, but the 3rd cup has less because it's going to be a darker blue and I'm going to do a dirty pour. And I didn't want the dark blue to take over the design. I just wanted you to be able to see bits of dark blue in with the other 2 blues for contrast, because I'm using silhouettes, and if the blue was too dark you wouldn't be able to see the silhouettes so well. So that's my reasoning behind doing it like this, dividing it up like this. So I've poured those 2 blues in, and when I poured this darker blue in, I thought it didn't mix as well, so I did a stabby and mixed it all together that way. As you can see, there's still there'll still be a little bit of dark blue left in the pot, and there's still a little bit of clear resin in the original pot. I'll get to that in a minute. So having swished it all up, just pour. And there's my mixing action. I don't just pour it all in one place. I sort of swipe it all around in the hope that it will look a bit more natural. And then, as I said, this was a little tiny bit of resin, clear resin left. I just put the last little bit of dark blue in there, because you're going to need all of that resin to fill this tray. A little bit of heat gun. And fingers crossed that it looks like ocean. Now you can see the effect I was talking about doing the frame blue, transparent blue. It blended in with these colours really nicely. I was happy with that. I made a plan, and you'll see that in a bit, and the reason that I'm measuring, this is 6 centimetres from the very outside of the frame. This is going to be the dividing line between the sky and the ocean. And it's like this because on my plan this is the distance. This is how I've marked it all out. So I know exactly where I'm putting things. Yep, usually not enough space to do anything. I tend to work on top of myself. I never have enough space. And this is just the same colours that I used, the light blue and the greenish blue from the ocean. Making a line there. And then to make the sky look different from the ocean, I'm just using those two same blues and just dabbing it all over the sky in the hope that the two areas will look different. So again, just trying to cover it up, make it look smoother so it doesn't look like ocean. And then the bottom half, I'm using real sand. I wish I had used smoother sand, but the coarse sand does look nice. It's just that it adds depth. And I would rather just use, fine sand because it doesn't put any depth in it. That way, when you've finished your project and you've put a thin coat of resin on the top, you don't have to go so deep. But that's a lesson learned for next time. And then you can see me looking to my left. I'm looking at my plan because I know where everything's supposed to go. And this is the sand layer. You can see it there in the bottom right corner. And just gradually sort of working my sand to where I want it. And then I just put a small layer of UV resin on top because, as I said, this is pretty coarse stuff. It's got texture. And I'm just using a Sharpie to put a black line in between the ocean and the sky. Trying to get the resin to go to the other end, but it's not cooperating. It was faster to do with the brush. Yeah, after it had cured, I had a few rough spots, so I sanded them down because I'm going to be putting stickers on there. I didn't want it to puncture the stickers or make them look bumpy. So yeah, I just sanded it off for the really rough spots and cleaned it up. Here is the plan. I've got to put some birds up there. I haven't found those yet. But this is generally what I'm going to do. I stuck to it as much as possible, but I did make some changes along the way. And these are made with the Cricut system. And they're the print and cut. Although I only did the print on this because the stickers were so tiny. I thought that if I made the Cricut cut them, it would concertina them up because they're so small. So I just printed my images on transparent sticker paper and cut them out myself. That way I can go in really close to the images and cut a lot of that clear sticker off. But it's amazing. Sometimes you see the sticker, sometimes you don't. I think it depends on how well you press it down and what sort of background there is. Anywho, so I decided that the sky didn't look different enough from the ocean, so I'm just putting on another layer of paint, which is UV resin and mica powder. And this, I think this one is the darker blue, just for a bit of contrast, to have a little bit of darker blue in there. It was all very experimental. And under the lamp for that. This is why I make a mock-up of things I'm going to do, because I find it easier to have a plan, and even if you don't follow that plan to the letter, it gives you an idea of the real space you're working in, and how something, once you've got the design space in front of you, you can think, oh well, maybe this would work better than that. And that's what I did. I changed a few things up, I left a few things out, but all in all I'm very happy. And I like to sort of visualize what I'm doing, especially when it involves projects with lots of little fiddly bits like this. It can get a bit sort of, you can get a bit sort of bogged down in the details and think, oh God, what am I going to do now? If you have a plan, there's not too much more thinking involved, and I like that. I like to do my pre-thinking. So then it's just sort of a case of putting down my stickers according to my plan, and you can see how closely in I've gone with my scissors. I've cut really close to the actual design, as far in as I dare go without actually cutting into the design. That took a while to do, cutting all those little things out. Thing is, I find that certain things I wouldn't have patience for, I have patience for doing resin. I seem to be able to sort of get in the zone and just sort of, you know, do things like the reverse painting. I love doing that. So this was a nice project to do. I just sort of put my stickers down and listen to my story. You can see my iPad there. Just sort of work my way through my design. So the area where I put the sand in, you can now see the reason why I sanded it off a little bit. I didn't want the stickers to look too bumpy. I wanted them to look smooth. So that's why I did sand it down, because there were a few little sharp points, because it is considered fine sand, but it's grainy. So just making sure I've pushed everything down. Cotton bud works very well, very gentle. Yeah, some of these were so tiny, it was hard to see if they were sticking to me or sticking to the tray. You may or may not have noticed that, yes, I did change my turtles, because the original ones were transparent, so they were blue. So I decided to change them to match everything else and make them a silhouette. And there you have the finished item. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of clear resin over the top, seal it all in, and voila, we are finished. So there we have it, finished product. It's quite a nice size tray. It worked out really nicely. I had a lot of fun with this. And because it's a tray and resin can sometimes be a bit sharp and scratchy, put a nice felt bottom on it. So this was made with my Cricut Joy Xtra on the print then cut, but I didn't cut out the little images because I thought they were much too tiny, and I was worried that if I did put it through the print and cut, that it would just concertina them up and ruin them. So I went in and cut them out myself, and that took a while. But these are fun, and I've used a lot of images in here, but I haven't put links to them all because there are so many. But the images come from Creative Fabrica, and that's a subscription. But they have so many really nice images, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm not, advertising for them. This is just what I've used and just showing you what you can do and having fun. And I really like this. I hope she likes it. She hasn't seen it yet. I've told her I've made it, but she has no clue as to the design or anything. So he's hoping it goes down well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next deep dive. Bye for now.